Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Easter Bonnet Challenge. Today I am dealing with decorating, and in this particular video I'm going to show you how to make little animals, and the two in particular are little chicks because it's Easter, and also Easter bunnies. So this is the sort of thing I'm talking about with Easter chicks. Hope you can see. Hello. And I'm going to make a bunny. Now, in the same way, normally, I suppose traditionally, the Easter bunny is white, but I haven't got any white wool, which is what this is made out of, so I'm going to make him brown. So I've made these out of little woolen pom-poms, and I've made a bigger one here, which I haven't turned into anything yet, but I'm going to make another one that size, so that can be a big fat chick, so that could be like an owl chick or something. So I'm going to show you how I make that one, and it's the same idea but in different sizes for all of the others, and then I'm going to show you how to put a little face on this one and some ears to turn it into a bunny. Now, making pom-poms is really easy. And I have made, as you can see, 3 different sizes here, so small, medium and large. I'm now going to make a medium one, and all you need are 2 bits of cardboard, and I found an old tissue box which I've cut up, and so you need 2 circles like this, and this width from here to here is the diameter roughly of the body that you're going to make, or the ball that you're going to make as a result, the pom-pom. It's going to be slightly smaller than this because this central part is all going to get pulled in tight like that, and that will pull all the outside part in, if that makes sense. I'm going to show you, and that hopefully will make it a bit clearer. So these are the 3 that I've made. So I've got small, medium and large. I've used these already. And when I started making them, initially I was going to cut out a new one each time, but that's just reinventing the wheel. You just don't need to do that, because if I take this one to show you, when you're taking the wool off, you have to cut. I don't know if you can see, like that. Can you see there? You have to cut to get this off the wool. But actually, so long as when you put the 2 pieces together, you don't have those cuts lined up, you can just carry on making your pom-pom with the same thing over and over again. Right, I'm going to show you because that might not make sense. What you need is a darning needle, and a darning needle is a needle like that, which is blunt at one end, and it has a great big eye at the other end for putting wool through. I do understand a lot of people won't have these, so instead of using that, what you can use is, top tip from my mum, a hairpin like this. Can you see it against the wall? And you put the wool through here, and then you just push like that. If you're going to use something like a hairpin, it's probably easier if you make this central hole a bit bigger. Alternatively, you could use, we call it a Kirby grip, but I think the Americans call them bobby pins or just a hairpin. Right, so I'm going to use a darning needle because that's what I'm used to using, and that is easy. So I've got 2 little brown ones, I've got 2 little yellow ones, and I've got 1 big yellow one, so I need more yellow wool. Incidentally, I'm saying yellow, I was tempted to make one in pink or blue or this sort of reddish brown. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be traditional. You can just go with whatever colour appeals to you. It's your hat, and you decorate it how you jolly well want to. Right, here is, I'm going to use this bit of wool, and to thread a darning needle, the easiest way is not do it like this, trying to poke the end through, because this is twisted threads and they kind of come apart and do that, which makes it quite difficult to get through. So the easiest way to do it is wrap the end round the top like that. Just pull it down so you've actually got a loop here, and then just thread the loop through. You see what I've done? So you pull it through like that. Now, you need quite a lot of wool on this, so I'm going to double it up, getting rid of the knots on the way. This was in such a mess when I found this wool. I didn't know I had any in the house. I found it and it was just like a cat had been playing with it. We don't even have a cat, it's ridiculous. Right, cut this. Now, because I'm a bit lazy and because it is so much easier, I'm going to put another thread of wool through so that I'm actually pulling through 4 threads at the same time. And again, I am going to, so you wrap your wool around the needle, pull it tight, pull it off, pull this down so you've got as much of the eye exposed as possible, and then thread your new loop through. There you go. Right, pull that down so they're all the same length, roughly. I'm just going to cut them there. There we are. So I've got 1 needle and I've got 2 very long threads doubled up, so in actual fact I've got 4 lines of wool running through it. Let's get that out of the way. And it's the medium one that I'm doing. My 2 splits in the round bits. I don't know what the proper name for them is. I'm making sure they're not lined up together, so I'm just turning them away from each other. Just going through, and then I'm going to, these ends here, I'm just going to tuck them in here, in between the 2 bits of cardboard, just to get them out of the way. And then I'm going to hold the thread and then just keep it out of the way until it comes through, and then just keep going round and round like that. It's much easier if with your fingers here you hold this bit out of the way and then gradually turn it round until you have covered. I wonder if it's easier if I show you this over my shoulder. Maybe it is. I think because this is quite small, it might be easier to look at it from this angle. So you can see I'm pulling the wool out of the way here. You can see the hole still there. Hold it until you've gone through, and you want to gradually work your way round until you have covered all of the cardboard. And the, oops, don't worry if little bits like that. This is one of the loose ends that's just come out. I'm just going to, this isn't the long thread I'm cutting, it's just that little loose end, just to get it out of the way. Oops, sorry, nudging you. Right. Now, once it's covered, that's good. That's the minimum you need to do. And then the more wool I can get on this circle, the fatter and more filled my ball is going to be, my pom-pom. If I just put a sparse little amount of wool on it, it's going to look a bit threadbare when it comes off. Right, come on, Ouch, come on. I'm going to keep going as much as I can, but I don't think I'm going to get all of this on because it's becoming quite tricky. Now you can see why, if you're using these hairpins, for example, it's going to be difficult to get through that, so you need to make this, it's going to be difficult to get through here, so you need to make this hole bigger, which will make your overall pom-pom smaller, but it means you can still do it even if you don't have a darning needle. Right, I'm not sure I'm going to get much more on this. Let's do one more. Whoa, come on. That's it. That's through. Right, that's it. Now, these are all going to get cut here, so I'm going to cut this end here, just so that it lines up with the edge of the pom-pom. And then, now I'm not using the scissors I had before. I'm using, these are nail scissors. They're very sharp and short, so they're very easy to manipulate into this sort of angle. I'm going to just snip round on the edge, not down here, right on the edge. And the aim is to snip down to the cardboard, and then, this is why you have 2 bits of cardboard, to put the scissors in between the 2 bits of cardboard and then cut round. The cardboard will hold all of the wool in place. You keep cutting round, cut, cut, cut. I've reached one of the splits. Keep cutting. Split. Keep cutting in between the 2 bits of cardboard. This is one of the ends that we tucked in. Keep going round. Oops. It's a bit fiddly, but it's not impossible. Right. Now, if you had any ambitions to be a hairdresser, this is an opportunity for you to practice. So just trim them so they're all the same length. We can fluff it out a bit. We can fiddle around with it later. Right, so that's pretty much the pom-pom shape that we want. Obviously we've got 2 bits of cardboard running around the middle. So what we do, let's take one of these long pieces off, and we separate the cardboard, and we run that piece of wool in between. Just got a loop here which shouldn't be there. I'm going to snip that out of the way. Behave yourself. I'm going to run this all the way around. There you are. Can you see? In between the 2 bits of cardboard. And I'm going to tie a double knot, and this effectively will hold all the bits of wool, because what you've actually got now are just lots and lots of little bits of wool, all the same length. Do a double knot. There. Pull it as tight as you can, so you don't break the wool, and then, this is the ta-da moment, you take off, very carefully, in case you want to use them again, the cardboard. And when you've done that, fluff it out, and there we are, we've got a pom-pom. So, and then also just get your hairdresser skills out to snip any long straggly bits. That's it. Right, so that's that. Now that is going to be the head for this one. The very big body and a not terribly big head. So I think we're going to have this as an owl chick or a cuckoo that's in the nest, which is bigger than the other chicks. Now on this little chick here, I've put a little beak and I've put 2 eyes. And I'll show you how I did these. Now I don't have any red card or red paper, so I just went through the Sunday Times magazine and I found this picture of these girls with lovely coloured skirts. This one had a bright red skirt, so I cut that out. I folded it in half and I glued it so that it's red on both sides. And then what you do is you cut a diamond shape, straight scissors. So just I will show you why a diamond shape in a second. Right, like that. Right, so it's red on both sides. You fold it in half. we have a little beak. So that's going to go in there. Well, I'm going to just tie these two together to start with so that we don't have a headless cuckoo. I'm literally going to just tie them together. With these strings that you, with the cotton, wool that you tie around the middle of the two cardboard discs, leave long ends as I've done here, and it just makes life so much easier because then you can kind of pick it up and manoeuvre it around much more easily. Right, there we are. So there's my rather scruffy looking cuckoo, and this will be his beak. And the way you put the beak on is the same way you're going to put the eyes on. So I'm going to do the make eyes up now. And the way I made the eyes, I've got my hole punch here. And this is really easy. All you do, so I took the bottom of the hole punch, so anything that gets punched comes out. I found a piece of paper with a lot of black on it, and then I've literally just punched a couple of holes. And my two holes are here. If I turn them over, you'll see, it probably makes sense if I put them on a piece of white. There's one, there's the other, perfectly punched. Right, so I'm going to use those as eyes. Now, because I am someone that usually gets covered in glue, I've been trying very hard not to, and the way I've worked around it is I've got myself some ordinary glue. Do not use super glue. It's so dangerous. The last time I used it, I almost stuck two fingers together, and you just don't want to be doing that now. They haven't got time to mess about with people doing silly things on DIY with super glue. So just use ordinary household glue. And the thing to do, we're not going to touch the glue. Just put a blob of it. Just put a blob of it here on this piece of card, and then using some tweezers pick up one of the black eyes. You don't need to cover the whole thing in glue, just touch it to the glue like this. That will be enough just to hold it. There we are. Oh no. Same thing, the other one. So you don't get glue on your fingers at all, just pick it up like that, literally right on the edge of it. Touch it to the glue. Put the other one. Okay. Oops. I won't touch the glue, but it will touch me. Right, like that. So that's the two eyes. This is the beak that we made. This is the beak that we made. Pick it up from the top, put glue on the underside, again using this little puddle that you've made here of glue, and that can go there we are, and that's our rather scruffy big bird. Right, so that's that one done, big one. Here's the little one, that's done. And now I'm going to do the bunny. Let's move the glue out of the way for the moment. Now to do the bunny, I need to make what? Oh no, I've made. So for the bunny, I need to tie these two together. That's a small and a medium. Look like I'm strangling him, doesn't look very nice. Oops. Again, double knot. There we are. Oh no, what's that doing there? That's it. Just kind of manipulate it round to where you want. Right, that's that. Now, for a bunny, Obviously he's going to look slightly different, needs to have some long ears. So what I have done is actually just draw some ears here, and I've drawn a little face here with a nose and some teeth. It's a bit of a cartoon, but you get the picture. So that's that. Right, I'm just going to cut this out. Again, always it's easier if you just cut a big bit first, cut round the bit you want to cut, and then just, you're only picking up a small piece. If you see what I mean. Right, it's late. I was quite lucky actually, because I had a brown which actually matches quite nicely the brown of the wool. Now, the way I've drawn the ears is so that this bit can get glued on the back, and it can stick like that into the bunny's head. Let's see if I can make a little gap there for it. Right, where's my glue? Is it still wet? I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, yes, here we are. Look, I've stuck it to the scissors. Is anyone surprised? Right, here are my bunny ears. I'm going to just wipe the bottom bit there on the glue. Put that right out of the way. And I've made a sort of channel here. Can you see? I'm going to just pop those down and squeeze it like that. So that's my bunny ears in place. Then next thing to go in is the little, what do you call that, cheeks and the teeth, which are so ridiculously cartoon, I don't think that's what a typical bunny looks like at all. But anyway, let's go with the flow. Oops. Not to cut his teeth off. Oops. Right. There we are. These are so the cheeks and the teeth. So I'm going to position them about there. Where's my glue? Here. Right, that's not really wet enough anymore, so I'm going to put a little bit more glue in my here. Dries very quickly, so don't use too much at any one time. Right, all I'm going to do is just put a little bit on the cheeks, like that. That's probably way too much. Okay, and I'm going to position them, I think there. So, now I need to do some eyes. And I was thinking I will do different eyes to these so that it looks, so that they pop more, it looks more, it looks different as opposed to just the black on the yellow which stands out. I've had it just black here, I don't think they'd show up. So what I've done is I have made two little eyes like this, which is just a white dot from the hole punch and black dot, and I've literally just picked the black dot up, touched it on the glue and fitted it over the white dot so that you've just got that little bit of white, which just makes it stand out that much more. Right, so I'm just going to, I've actually lost the other one, so I'm going to, right, here is a white dot. I'm going to just punch another black one. There we are. I'll make another eye up. Here are my tweezers. Here is my little palette of glue. So I'm literally just going to touch the edge, only the edge, and then here is my white dot. I'm just going to, there we are, pop it like that. Oops. So that is the second eye. Now, put these two eyes here together. You want to make sure you've got the same amount of white here. So these are my two little eyes, which I'm now going to pop onto the bunny. Again, I'm going to pick them up with the tweezers because otherwise I will cover myself in glue. You just need the tiniest amount. And then we're going to position them. That's one. There's the other one. Here's the other one. Right, I'm going to put a little bit more glue out. I don't like having too much glue because I do end up sticking it to me and to everything else. Pick up my eye. Dab it in the glue. And then stick the eye here. It's a bit funny looking, but I think he does look like a bunny. The only thing that he's missing, of course, is you can make him have all sorts of expressions depending on how you move the eyes around. Right, the only thing he's missing is, of course, a tail. And to make a tail, I have got some cotton wool. Now, unfortunately, I don't have balls of cotton wool. I've only got sort of cotton wool pads like this. So what I've done is, I've immediately lost it. I can cut another one. I've split a pad in half like this, so you've got that rougher, fluffier side, as opposed to this sort of smooth side. And then on that fluffy side, I'm just going to cut a little. So it doesn't have to be round because, you know, it's fluffy, isn't it? So I think if I just kind of cut it. There we are, like that. I think that looks like a fluffy tail. And here is the bunny with his fluffy tail attached. So there we have it. These are a variety of little creatures, and you can make any permutation of your own as you see fit. So we've got, I've made a bunny, a funny bunny, a little chick and a big chick. And you can make anything you like. You can make them any colour you like. You can make all sorts of different things. This is just simply to give you some ideas. And I hope this has been inspirational. See you in the next video.